One of the big Arizona races called over the weekend was the congressional race for the Northeast Valley in Congressional District 1, where David Schweikert is projected to beat Democratic challenger Amish Shah and begin serving his 8th term in the U.S. House.
Congressman Schweikert joining us now on Arizona's Morning News. Good morning, Congressman. If the lead you now enjoy continues to hold, you're going to win by about 4 percentage points. Now, that's a much bigger margin than most pundits predicted. What do you chalk that up to?
Jamie, Jim, good morning. I actually think you're seeing this all over the country. The voters actually wanted people to talk about their prosperity. They're dealing with how expensive their lives have become, what the future looks like. And, the perversity of how much money is spent in these races didn't overcome just sort of basic common sense of, what helps take care of people that live in your community.
You told me via text that this is projected to be the 7th most expensive congressional race in the country. But I wanted to ask you first, did you talk to Dr. Shah over the weekend?
No, not yet. And he and I've met before. He's pleasant enough. And there's a lot of moving parts here. And I'm sure he and I will have a coffee at some time in the near future.
So with your 8th term in the House, anything different you plan to do, or is there a specific issue that you want to continue to focus on?
Yeah, one of the frustrations of Congress is it takes some seniority before you ever get a chairmanship. And now I have a couple chairmanships. How do I leverage that into basically fixing government? Taking on debt, taking on the deficits. The fact of the matter is, because of our demographics, those numbers are just going to keep getting worse. And how do you force a government that doesn't want to adopt technology, adopt more modern ways to cut the costs? And every day that's like a war, because bureaucracies don't like change. And let's be honest, a lot of businesses that are government contractors don't want to have competition.
We are talking with Congressman David Schweikert, projected to be the winner of his race in Congressional District 1 over his Democratic challenger, Amish Shah. And Congressman, it looks like not only the U.S. Senate is going to be controlled by the Republicans, there's a very, very good chance that your chamber, the House, will also be controlled by Republicans. So what do you expect Donald Trump's first agenda item he will have for Congress to take up?
The president will have a number of issues. Most of theirs in the beginning is staffing up, particularly those types of positions, cabinets, and those slots that have to go through the Senate. So in many ways, the White House will be putting the wheels on the vehicle, moving people, that type of organizing. In the House, I see a number of 222, 224, somewhere in there. So the House will be controlled by the Republicans. Can we use the fact that there's unified government to stop making excuses and do really hard, difficult things? And one of my intense frustrations is the political class ready to tell the country the truth of, for every dollar we take in tax receipts, we spend $1.39. That math can't work much longer.
We are talking to incumbent and projected winner of Congressional District 1, Congressman David Schweikert. And I have to ask, because during Trump's first presidency, it seems like there were a lot of distractions over impeachments and lawsuits and things like that. Do you think we're going to see a whole different type of presidency without those roadblocks or hurdles?
Oh, Jamie, that is absolutely a brilliant question. Will the White House have the discipline to not get taken off their game? Look, if you read the morning press, the organizers out there are already trying to organize their protests, organize lawsuits, organize litigation on specific orders. And there's this constant inbound that's used to try to slow down taking on problems. Because when you fix a problem, you also just change someone else's business model. I can only hope, at least for the first 2 years of the Trump administration, there'll be unified government. And we're going to have the obligation to deliver. But you're being asked to do a number of things at the same time that you're borrowing $70,000 a second.
Yeah.
And so there's this pressure back and forth of we want to do things to stimulate U.S. manufacturing, stimulate economic growth, but the coffers, we're borrowing. Every dime a member of Congress votes on today is borrowed money. And so you have this juxtaposition of, can you execute policies that will reduce debt and spending while still getting the economic uplift?
All right. Thank you so much. That is Congressman David Schweikert, projected to win Congressional District 1's race over Amish Shah.
Thanks for watching Arizona's Morning News. Click to watch more from KTAR News and hit the button in the middle to subscribe.